So for today's workout, you're gonna wanna grab yourself some water and some light weights. I've got 2 pounds. If you wanna upgrade to those 5s, maybe those 8s or those 10s, you're welcome to do that as well. The focus today is using your core breathing belly pump in combination with a ton of upper body work. So I'm gonna give you a lot of cueing. Feel free to turn it on, turn it off, wherever you need it. The most important thing is that you are aware of where your breath is, where your core breathing belly pump is, and whether or not it's actually supporting you when you're doing those heavier lifts or more demanding movement. We're gonna start on our sides today. Few options. You can either lay yourself all the way down, so you are making a little pillow in the crook of your elbow, or you're welcome to bring yourself up here. We're gonna turn on that core breathing belly pump. You're gonna fill your ribs and belly with air on your inhale. You're gonna exhale, draw up through your pelvic floor, and start to feel that wrap across the front of the belly. Now I want you to make sure that you're activating from the bottom up. You don't wanna just pull in up here and leave out the pelvic floor. Inhale, ribs and belly. Exhale, that pelvic floor lifts first. And then we think hip bone to hip bone, and then zip or wrap up from there. Now, if you're up here on the shoulder, make sure you're not getting crunchy up here into the ear. So feel that lift, or again, bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Take one more here. And then you have a few options for this side lift. Level one is to bring that hand all the way down to the mat. 2, up to your hip. 3, you can extend it up into the air. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, wrap that core, bring yourself up. Inhale, reset. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good, so you're gonna take one of those 3 arm options as you go through this breath. We're gonna take 2 more just like that. Last one, hold here, and I want you to belly pump. Come down when you need to. If you feel a lot of traps or a lot of crunchiness up here, just come down, reset, exhale. One more breath, keep that chest open. Feel that scapular activation behind your shoulder blades. Great, and then you're gonna bring yourself all the way down. I'm gonna come down to the crook with my elbow, grab my light weight, plaster that elbow in towards my side, and then I'm gonna start to use that belly pump as I open and rotate that shoulder. So we're working on that external rotation. And just a really easy movement here to warm up those rotator cuffs. Start to feel that combination or that connection to your core breathing belly pump as you do something with your arms. Slow these down if you need to. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna put that weight down. Use my breath to flip over to the other side. And we're gonna do the same thing over here. So coming down either all the way or just to that shoulder. Those 3 levels with the breath. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. These side lifts are a great way to warm up that entire core. Find that connection. Inhale, ribs and belly. Exhale, pelvic floor, lower middle, upper abdominal wall. Take 2 more. Check in with that trap. Make sure you're not holding a lot of tension in your shoulders. We're gonna come up. You're gonna breathe in one of those 3 levels. 2 more. Last one. Bringing yourself down, all the way down to the floor. Grab that light weight, hug that elbow into your side, belly pump as you go into those external rotators for the shoulder. Exhale. We're gonna take 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good, put that weight down. Use your breath, get yourself up. We're gonna come into a kneeling position. So from here, when we come out of that seat and up, I want you to look for that hinge at the front of the hips. So this is prepping you for those squats when we get up to standing. Same thing here. I want you to find that crease at the front of the hip socket before you sit. And then once you feel that in your body, you're gonna grab those light weights again. And we're gonna add a bicep curl as we come up. So open up the chest, find that scapular activation behind you. Curl up and sit. So you're gonna take these at your own pace. Feeling that connection to the core. Lifting the pelvic floor. Wrapping lower middle, then upper abdominal wall as you come up with that curl. We're gonna take 2 more here. Last one. We're gonna go back into that hinge, front of the hip socket. We're gonna press those arms out. I like to call these the bathtub reach. So if you've ever given a baby or a toddler a bath, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you're on that angle where everything seems to go into your lower back, that's where you're gonna really lift a little higher through your pelvic floor. Wrap, blow out, and then find that scapular activation behind you. So as you reach forward, you're not rounding through the upper chest. We're gonna take 3, 2, last one, and I want you to just hold that hinge here and then row those arms in. If you feel a lot of pressure in your lower back, bring these all the way down to a seat. This is actually a ton of core activation right here. 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna put those weights down for a second. Before we come up to standing, bring those hands behind the head, close the front of the rib cage, take that lateral bend side to side. That happens on your exhale. I want you to lift your pelvic floor, find that wrap as you head into that bend. Then we're gonna turn this into rotation. You're gonna look over your shoulder, keep your hip bones driving towards me. Same thing, we lift the pelvic floor, we wrap the core as we rotate. 2 more. Last one. Good. Grab yourself a sip of water before we stand up. All right, let's get ourselves up. Take your weights with you. Drive through that heel. Find that exhale to get yourself up. So we are gonna come into a nice solid position here. And before we start to move, I want you to connect with that breath. Inhale, ribs and belly. Micro bend in the knees. Chest is open. Exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Feel that connection at the front of the body. Great. We are gonna head into a deadlift. So we are gonna find that hinge point at the front of the hips, and we are gonna come down. You're gonna feel a little bit of a stretch in the hamstrings, but I want you to feel your glutes and your lower body. So we're gonna come down and then pop yourself back up. As we come down into that hang, don't let your upper body come with it. And then I want you to add a row up here at the top. So I like to imagine that I've got on a giant pair of pants. I'm gonna pull them up over my chest. Elbows go up, shoulders go down. And then you're gonna find that breath. Where's your inhale, where you fill the ribs and belly, relax the pelvic floor. Where's your exhale, where you can support this movement. So if you've got 2-pound weights, it's probably not very demanding on your core. But if you've got 10s, 20s, you're gonna need a little more oomph to get those elbows up. So think of that. Where is the core support needed? That's your exhale. Give me 2 more. Last one. Great. We're gonna head into a one-legged deadlift. So you're gonna find your balance, even out those hips. Arms are just gonna come forward here. You're gonna find your balance and then pop yourself back up. Woo. I want you to think of the glute on that standing leg. And then find the place where you feel the most unstable. That's your exhale. Feel free to grab yourself a chair, anything to hold on if you need that extra balance. Think of that upper body connection again, so we're not rounding through the chest and shoulders. We're gonna take 2 more here. And then we're gonna flip over to the other side. So find that balance first, even everything out, take it directly forward. You're gonna hinge forward, looking for that glute on the front leg, the leg that you're standing on. Find your breath. Inhale, ribs and belly, exhale. Chest is open. You're thinking of that scapular activation right here between the shoulder blades. We're gonna take 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Come into a nice wide-ish stance, so a little wider than hip width apart, not locked out in the knees, micro bend, chest open. We're gonna start with a bicep curl. Inhale, ribs and belly. Exhale, find that connection up the front of the body. Sounding like a broken record today, but that is our focus, to put that core breathing belly pump and layer it on top of all of this upper body movement. That way when we go into our other workouts, where I'm not cueing it as often, you have a sense of where to put that belly pump. I get that question all the time. Where should I be breathing? The answer is you should be breathing in the places where you need support. 2 more here. And last one. We're gonna open those arms up into goalposts. We're gonna close and open. Find that space between your shoulder blades. Make sure you haven't locked out in your knees. As soon as we lock out those knees, we go into that anterior tilt in the pelvis. And just find that natural rhythm for your breath. We're gonna take 4 more here. 3, 2, and then into an overhead press. Over and bring them down. As those arms go up, don't let your shoulders rise. Keep a nice length from your ears away from your shoulders. Still thinking of that breath. Give me 3 more here. 2, and last one. Great. Whew. If you need a sip of water, I want you to grab it. We're gonna go back into that hinge point. So halfway between your pubic bone and your hip bone, if you find that crease right here, that's where we're gonna crease at the hips. Butt is back, chest is forward. Weight is in my lower body, not my lower back. And we're just gonna roll those arms in here. Now you might wanna start these slow at first. Inhale, exhale. Experiment with that slow movement and then start to pick it up too. Maybe you don't belly pump on every single row. Maybe it's every 2, maybe it's every 3. There are no wrong answers for where to put that breath. It's just important that you're aware of it and that you keep breathing. 2 more here. Last one, we're gonna hug those arms in, press them back. Start slow, find the pump. Inhale, ribs and belly. Exhale, pelvic floor. And then once you've got that, you can start to play with the speed. And if you feel this getting into your lower back, play with your upper body positioning. Where can you find your glutes? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. I'm gonna put these down. Little special treat today. We're gonna come all the way down to the floor. We're gonna do some tricep dips. So if this is hard on your wrists, I want you to pop up onto your fists or grab yourself a chair or a bench where you can decrease that hinge point in the wrist. That's what's gonna cause the pain. So if you can get yourself onto something where you can kind of flatten that out, you're gonna feel a lot better. We're gonna take those fingertips behind us, facing forward, open the chest and shoulders, put your weight in your heels, and we're gonna drop and lift, drop and lift. Now this belly pump is really hard to connect here because of the positioning that we're in. So I want you to mostly focus on that diaphragmatic breath, especially since we don't want to be breathing into the upper chest and shoulders as we do this work on the triceps, because that's going to just increase tension in your shoulders and your traps. Give me 5 more. 4, ribs and belly fill on that breath. Last one. Good. We're gonna come out of it. Take a quick arm stretch. We're gonna head into our cardio intervals next. So if you need a sip of water before we pop up, I want you to take that now. Take that moment just to close your eyes, maybe reconnect to that breath. And then before you get up, I'm gonna grab a sip of water myself. You're gonna find your glutes, find that core connection, grab your weights. First move, little side step, your choice. Hold the weights here, or you can take a little cross body punch. You're also welcome to not use those weights for any of this, because I don't know if we've let them go since we started this workout today. And I want you to really fall into that rhythm. Where's your breath? Give me 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're gonna stop in the middle, nice wide stance, bend in the knees, punch it out here. Find that rotation in the torso. Don't let your shoulders round forward. You've got 4, 3, 2, back to that side step with a punch, step, punch. 4 more, 4. Into those punches for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take it again, step, punch. 4, 3, 2. Into those punches with that rotation. Hips are forward. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come all the way down for our recovery. Whew. Either on your side. If you're comfortable, you can also come onto your back. Inhale, fill the ribs and belly. See how fast you can get back to that core breathing. And I want you to think of relaxing your pelvic floor here. Just about 10 more seconds to recover. Then we're gonna head into that second interval. Last breath. Either rolling to your side or pushing straight up from here. Use your core, use your breath. I'm gonna step this out. Taking those arms overhead. If this feels like too much strain on your shoulder girdle, you're gonna drop those weights down to the ground. You're also welcome to take these into full jacks overhead. Step. If you're doing those full jacks, you're checking in with your pelvic floor. As always, pain, pressure, leaking, they're all signs to scale back. 4 counts. 4, 3, 2. We're gonna come into those little steps underneath us. Out, out, in. You're staying on a nice low level. Butt is out, chest is forward. You're gonna feel this in your lower body. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Back into those stars or those jacks. Getting that heart rate up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Underneath you into those little step outs. Out, out, in. Check in with your glutes. Can you feel your lower body here? Whew, a lot of work on the lower body. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back all the way down for the recovery. So let's play with a different level. Come down to all fours. And from here, you can just sway your pelvis from side to side. Get back into that diaphragmatic breath, ribs and belly. Try to relax your shoulders down your back so they're not up to your ears. You can circle out the pelvis a little bit, going in both directions. You can take a very gentle cat and cow, or you're welcome just to hold here and recover with that breath. We're gonna head into our next interval in just a few seconds. Before I head up, I'm gonna grab myself one more sip of water. Finding my glutes, grabbing those weights, wrapping the core. We're gonna step back, right and left. Find that parallel position underneath you. You're gonna curl. Take that hammer curl in those arms so those palms are facing you. And as you step back, you're looking for that front glute. Chest is open. Find that space between your shoulder blades. A little bit of fire there. And then you're gonna pick up the pace as this starts to feel a little more stable. So if you find yourself really off balance here, you can slow these down. You can add that core breath on the places that feel a little wobbly. We're gonna take 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, whew, 3, feeling the glutes, feeling those arms. Last set. And then we're gonna go into a squat with an overhead press for our last 30 seconds here. These are our first squats of the workout. So unlike me. We've done those deadlifts today. As the arms go up, shoulders go down. I'm panting here. It gets harder and harder to maintain that diaphragmatic breath. And that's a normal cardio response for the body. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Whew. Coming all the way down to the ground. I'm gonna grab a sip of water as I get down there. And then we're gonna take that recovery on either all fours or on your side or your back. Your choice here. So find the position that makes sense for you. Inhale, ribs and belly. I really want you to focus on relaxing your pelvic floor here. And then I'm gonna give you the additional option to come all the way down to your forearms. Find that connection of your lats engaged down. Feel a little bit of lift through the lower belly here, just so it's not down and pushing out and arching your lower back. Great. Then we're gonna come all the way down to our sides. This is our last section before our stretch. So we're gonna come down to the crook of our arms, bend those knees, extend that top leg out nice and long, flex your toes up towards your face, and we're just gonna lift and lower here. Good. Now I want this shoulder to stay relaxed. I want you to stay tuned in with that breath. And that core breathing belly pump, or that activation, is what's gonna keep that hip stable from rocking all over the place. Give me 2 more. We're gonna press low, in, high, in, low, in, high, in, for 4, 3, 2 more here. 2, in, up, and last one. Not done on this side. You're gonna go back down and up and down and up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back to that low and high. In, low, in, high, in, low, in, high. 4 more sets here. We're down to 3, hang on to it. 2, and last one, really feeling that hip. Good, drop those legs down, give yourself a little love here. We're gonna roll over to the other side, use that arm, use that belly pump to push yourself up and come down the other side. We are in the home stretch, you are so close. Find the crook of your arm, stack those knees, stack those hips, extend that leg, flex the toes, all the way up, all the way down. 3, 4, 5. I want you to imagine that you've got some energy shooting out through that heel there. Try not to hold your breath. And check in with tension in this bottom leg. Just make sure it's relaxed. Nice into the floor there. 2 more lifts, and then we're gonna go into that low and high kick. So pull it in, press it low, in and high, in and low, in, high. You're using the range of motion that your hips are comfortable with. So if that means that this high is only to here, that's okay. You don't want to completely displace that hip. You want to keep that nice vertical stack. So everyone's femur inserts into their hip joint in a little bit of a different angle. So your movement is not going to look like exactly like mine or your neighbors. All the way up, all the way down. These legs are tired. Keep breathing. That diaphragmatic breath is gonna re-energize you. Get more oxygen into the body. 2 more. Last one. We've got in, low, in, high, in, low. We are so close. These are the last few. 3 more sets. 2 more sets. You can do it. 1 more. Woo. And great. Hug those knees in. Give yourself a little tap. Use your arm, use your belly pump, push yourself up. And we are gonna bring the soles of the feet together. So I want you to sit up nice and tall here. Feel both of those sits bones grounded. Chest is lifted, pull up, and then tilt yourself forward. Just feel that stretch through the inner thighs here. Relax your pelvic floor. We're gonna head into a piriformis stretch. Cross your ankle over your knee. Open up your chest, pull that leg back. You can sit into it here. You're also welcome to just sit here if that feels like enough of a stretch. This foot is gonna be flexed to protect that knee joint. And you can rock gently in and out of that position here. Trying to get back into that low belly breath. And then heading over to the other side when you're ready. Ankle over knee, chest open. Pull that heel back if you're heading into that stretch here. Flexion in the foot. Gentle breath. We did so much work for your brain today. I always tell everyone when they're starting this work with the core breathing belly pump, it will eventually become second nature to breathe this way. But if you're just starting out, it sometimes feels like more of a workout for your brain than your body. So just embrace that. Take the leg down into a comfortable position. I want you to cross that arm in front, drop your shoulder down away from your ear. And then we're gonna take that arm, sweep it behind you. Keep your chest open so we're not dropping our chin down. Just put a little bit of gentle pressure on that elbow. And then head over to the other side. Shoulder away from the ear. Drop it behind. Gentle pressure there, chest is open. We're gonna take one leg out, one leg in. Lift both of those arms up over your head. Feel your waist extend up towards the ceiling. And then take that side body stretch. Lots of length from that fingertip down to that opposite sits bone, or sits bone on the same side. We're gonna extend up, rotate so you're facing that extended leg. Lift up nice and tall. Come forward as far as you can with a flat back. And then I want you to take a big breath in, exhale, and fold over into that stretch. One more breath out. And then head over to the other side. Leg out, leg in, sits bones down, waist is lifted into that side body stretch. Feeling yourself breathe into those side ribs here. Extend through those fingertips, rotate your body. Lift it up nice and high. Come forward as far as you can with that flat back, and then fold into that stretch. If you need any additional stretch after today's workout, you can pop into those stretch videos. You need a little more emphasis on that core work, head back into those foundations. Otherwise, thank you so much, and I will see you really soon.